A peaceful lakeside retreat in upstate New York. A family getaway, the kind you dream about. Calm waters, clear skies, pure escape. But then everything flips. Out of nowhere, biased cops storm in. They've pegged this family as outsiders. Don't belong here, they think. The father's hands get yanked behind his back. Cold steel cuffs snap shut. Right there, in front of his wife, his kids, his whole world. They don't know it yet, but they've just messed with the wrong guy. An ATF agent, a federal badass. What happens when the truth hits? Stick around, because this story's about to explode. Hit that subscribe button. Follow the ride. Drop a comment. Where you watching from? Let's roll. The Harrison family had been itching for this trip. Months of waiting, counting down. Marcus Harrison's a vet, an ATF agent who's seen it all. Tough gigs, long nights, barely a second to breathe with his wife and kids. The job's a pressure cooker, always bleeding into home. Then there's Tara, his wife, a civil rights lawyer with fire in her veins. She fights for the little guy, the ones nobody sees. Their lives nonstop, relentless. But now they're cashing in, ditching the grind to hit reset, just them and the kids together again. Cut to upstate New York, a lakeside lodge, quiet as a whisper. Water glints like glass under a big open sky. Marcus kicks back in a deck chair, baseball cap low, cargo shorts on. He's soaking in the crisp air, feeling lighter than he has in years. The weight of the badge? Gone. For once, it's just peace. Nearby, Tara's lost in a memoir, pages she's been chasing for months. She's cool, collected, but deep down, this trip's her lifeline. A break from the chaos she battles every day. The lake's edge comes alive. Two kids, Caleb and Sophie, splash in the shallows near the dock. Caleb's 13, all legs and quiet grit. He's racing his strokes, pushing hard. Sophie's 9, bright eyes flashing, braids bouncing as she laughs. That giggle, pure gold. It cuts through the stillness, echoing across the lodge grounds. Marcus feels it hit him square in the chest. Warmth, joy. Watching them, he's got that peace he's been chasing forever. No urgent calls, no late-night chaos. Just his family. Right here, right now. But perfection's got an expiration date. Marcus leans over, hand dipping into the cooler for a cold soda. That's when he clocks it, a shadow moving fast. A lodge security guard steps out from the wooded path. Navy jacket crisp, posture stiff, radiating control. His face stays blank, but those eyes, they flicker. Doubt, suspicion, something's off. He plants himself dead center, right in front of the Harrisons. A voice cuts the calm. "Excuse me, sir," the guard says, words sharp, ice cold. "I need to verify you're a guest here." Marcus doesn't flinch. He rises slow from the deck chair, tips his cap back, locks eyes with the guy. "I am a guest here," he fires back, cool and steady, no hesitation. Tara's book hits the table. She glances at Marcus, senses the air shift. This isn't new. They've been here before. Same old crap, same tired sting. The guard's lips twitch, a smirk that doesn't touch his dead eyes. "It's just procedure," he says. "I need your cabin number." Marcus holds firm. "We're in cabin 14, he tells him. "Checked in yesterday." The guard nods, quick and tight, but he doesn't budge. "I'll need to confirm with the front office," he adds. "Hope you understand. This is policy." Tara sits up straight, her eyes sharpen, catching the vibe. She looks at Marcus. They both feel it. The game's starting. "Is there a problem?" she asks, voice smooth but steel-edged. The guard stumbles just a beat, then recovers. "No problem, ma'am," he says, keeping it tight. "It's just routine." Marcus lets out a slow breath. Routine, huh? He knows this drill. Too damn well. This ain't the first time they've been picked out of the crowd. Marcus leans in close to Tara. Let them check, he murmurs, voice low. She shoots him a look. Yeah, she gets it. But underneath, she's steaming. This was their getaway, their break. Now, that vibe's toast. The guard steps off. Marcus fights to stay chill, hoping it's nothing big, but his gut's screaming. This ain't over. It's just kicking off. They try to ease back. No dice. The retreat's cozy glow. Gone. Tara slams her book shut. Her eyes lock on the guard. Now he's back, and he's not alone. Another guy's with him. Both stride up, all business. That polite act from before? Out the window. Tara bolts upright. Her stare's a blade. Marcus feels it. The air's tightening, squeezing hard. Sir, the first guard says, voice like stone. We need you and your family to clear the lakefront. Gotta confirm your details with the front office. Marcus stands slow, eyes dead on the guard. I've told you, he says. Cabin 14. Call the office if you need to. No reason to shove us out. He's steady, but the anger's bubbling. Tara's done waiting. She's on her feet. I don't get it, she snaps, voice slicing clean through. We've answered you. Why are we leaving? It's sharp. No messing around. The guard won't meet her eyes, sticks to Marcus instead, keeps that stiff mask on. We've had non-guests sneaking in lately, he says. This is procedure. Protects the lodge. Policy, you know. It's flat. Robotic. Tara's brow furrows. The unfairness slams her. She steps up, heat rising. What's the real deal here? We gave you the number. You're still on us. Is it 'cause we don't look the part? This policy hit everyone. Or just families like us? The guard freezes up. His tough guy act cracks. Ma'am, it's not what you think, he stammers. We're just securing the lodge. But that unease, it's leaking out, plain as day. Marcus drops a hand on Tara's shoulder. He's trying to cool the blaze sparking inside her. He feels it too, rage clawing up. He's been through this crap before. Every time it's a fresh cut, not just the side eye, it's the gut punch of being judged for their skin. It's okay, Tara, he says soft, holding steady. Let them check with the office. Then a new guy struts up, younger, cocky as hell. Arms crossed, voice dripping with a taunt. We've had plenty of folks sneaking in who don't belong, he says. Don't think we're picking on your family. It's just the job. That's it. Tara's lit. She charges right at him. Her cool's gone. Not personal. Then why you pushing us like this? You're scaring my kids, insulting us with some lame procedure excuse. She fires off. Her eyes, pure flame. Marcus steps in, cutting the spiral. We've answered you, he says, voice level but hard now. Call the office if you need to. No reason to blow this up. He's steady, but those eyes, they're simmering. The young guard smirks, a smug little twist. We're just doing our job, ma'am, he says with a shrug. Got a problem? Talk to the boss. Tara's locked on him. No backing down. She's faced worse in courtrooms. But this is her family. She's a wife, a mom. Nobody messes with that. She's about to unload, but Marcus pulls her back gentle, faces the guard square. You got our cabin number, he says. We're not moving. Check the office. But I'm done with you hassling us. The air's thick, heavy. Caleb and Sophie, laughing in the water minutes ago, stand stock still now, eyes big, scared. Caleb creeps closer to Marcus. Dad, what's happening, he asks, voice shaky, confusion all over his face. Marcus drops to a knee, hands steady on Caleb's shoulder. He forces a smile, keeps it light. It's nothing, bud, he says. Just a mix-up. Head back, play with Sophie. I've got this. But inside, his gut's churning. This could flip ugly fast if he doesn't play it smart. The first guards shuffle, antsy, pressure's piling up. Their eyes flick to the lake crowd. Folks are catching on now, heads turned toward the Harrisons. A few whip out phones, filming on the sly. Nobody moves to help. They just stare. All right, I'll check with the front office now, the first guard says, his cool's cracking, voice thinning out. Please wait here. Marcus lets a sigh slip, keeps the exhaustion locked down, face calm. Tara's different. Her stare's a laser, pinned on the guards. She's not letting an inch go. Minutes tick by, then it jumps off. The guards roll back, heavier now. Two sheriff's deputies flank them. Faces carved from stone, they barrel straight for the Harrisons. The lakefront's peace? Shredded. Guests freeze up. Some mutter low. Others keep those cameras rolling. A big deputy, shoulders like a linebacker, zeroes in on Marcus. We got a call about a disturbance, he barks, voice hard. I need your ID. Marcus feels it, a hot spike of anger in his chest. ATF vet or not, this stings. He rises slow, no shake in him, meets the deputy's glare. I've told the guards already, he says, clear as glass. Cabin 14, legit guess. I'm Marcus Harrison, ATF. We haven't done jack wrong. The deputy doesn't flinch, barely nods. Hand over your ID now. He cuts in, sharp. Tara's up in a flash, eyes blazing. My husband just told you he's ATF, she snaps, voice booming with power. You've got no cause to mess with us. No right to treat us like we're crashing, especially not in front of our kids. The deputy stood rigid, his eyes boring into Marcus, hand twitching near those cold steel cuffs. He demanded ID, his voice sharp, cutting through the lakefront breeze. Protocol loomed heavy in the air. Marcus stayed steady, a man who'd walked this tightrope before, knowing one wrong move could ignite the whole scene. He slid his wallet free, flipped out his ATF badge and ID, and passed them over. His words came firm, controlled. Here's my ID. The deputy snatched it, barely glanced, then flung it back with a smirk twisting his lip. That badge, worthless to him. He wanted something real, not some trinket from a tourist trap. Tara's hands balled into fists, her breath racing, fury sparking in her chest. She almost shouted, disbelief cracking her voice, but Marcus's hand found her shoulder. Easy, Tara, he murmured, his own anger simmering just below the surface. The deputy didn't flinch, his stare locked on Marcus, thick with contempt. Valid ID, he pressed, or things escalate. Marcus knew the game. Non-compliance meant chaos. He'd seen it spiral too many times. Out came his driver's license, handed over with a voice gone cold. Here's your valid ID. The deputy flicked his eyes over it, tossed it back like trash. No word from the lodge yet, he said. Until then, you and your family need to clear out. That snapped Tara's leash. She stepped forward, her voice a blade slicing the tension. They were guests, she fired back, not moving an inch. Harass her family again, and she'd make him regret it. Legally, publicly, all of it. The deputy squared up, defiance flashing in his gaze. Who do you think you are, throwing threats? Tara didn't blink. She was a lawyer, her husband a federal agent. He'd picked the wrong fight, and she'd make it sting. Silence dropped like a shroud over the lakefront. Nearby guests craned closer, whispers rippling, phones out, cameras rolling. The air thickened, heavy with stakes. Marcus shot Tara a look, his gut twisting, safety teetering on a razor's edge. This was spiraling fast, one slip away from shattering. Then the younger deputy swaggered up, all bravado, cuffs gleaming in his grip. Hands behind your back, he barked at Marcus, or we'll make you. Marcus didn't budge, his eyes locked, unyielding. You're making a big mistake, he said, low and loaded, staring down the advancing cuffs. In that heartbeat, the past roared in. Marcus saw it all, his rookie days at ATF, adrenaline pumping through high-stakes busts, facing down armed dealers, every sense dialed to 11. He'd clawed through danger, kept his cool, but nothing matched this gut punch of powerlessness. Years breaking gun rings, shielding the nation, now crushed under the weight of this moment. Targeted, cornered, all for his skin. A memory slammed him, 4 years back, leading a probe into deputy corruption. An unarmed kid gunned down, interviews stacking up, evidence peeling back a rotten core. Not a one-off, but a playbook of abuse. He'd fought for right then, never imagining he'd be the one staring down the barrel of that same arrogance. His gaze flicked to Tara, his anchor, a warrior for the underdog in every courtroom she owned. She lived for justice, but now she wasn't just a lawyer. She was his wife, standing as his shield, and that carved a hollow ache in him. Their kids shouldn't witness this. Neither should she. The cuffs rose toward his wrists. Marcus's mind flashed to the perps he'd locked up. Smugglers, felons, true dangers. Now here he stood, a man who'd bled for his country, branded a thug in broad daylight. The irony burned. The lakefront held its breath. More memories clawed at Marcus, sharp and unrelenting. He saw Caleb at 11, wide-eyed in a mall, head tilting as he asked why strangers kept staring. Marcus had crouched low, kept it simple. Some people judge what they don't get, son. The words stuck, bitter in his throat, a truth he couldn't bury forever. Now Caleb stood taller, older, but that same confusion haunted his face, shadowed by fear as he watched this unfold. Sophie pressed against Tara, tears brimming, her small frame trembling. Their eyes locked on Marcus, pleading, and his chest tightened. He couldn't let this frame their childhood. Him shackled, marked as the bad guy. His mind flashed to his black ATF brothers. Late-night talks over coffee, swapping stories, traffic stops for driving too nice, shop clerks trailing them like thieves. Marcus had clung to hope, believing his badge could carve a cleaner path. Now he was drowning in their same quicksand, the system biting back. He drew a slow breath, anchoring himself. He'd stared down worse, gunfights, raids, split-second calls. But this cut deeper, a blade to his core. Not the cuffs, but the betrayal. Resisting could spark a firestorm, put his family in the crosshairs. The young deputy loomed closer, blind to Marcus's churning past, seeing only a target to break. His eyes taunted, begging for a swing. "All right," Marcus said, voice level, hands easing behind him. No defeat in his gaze, just raw, tempered steel, holding steady for his wife, his kids. The cuffs snapped shut, icy metal biting his skin. Sophie's muffled sobs pierced the air, and Caleb stood stiff, jaw tight, eyes flickering with hurt and chaos. Marcus shot them a glance, a silent vow to shield them, but inside his fury roared. He'd take this hit today. Tomorrow he'd fight. The click of those cuffs lit a fuse in Tara. Her husband, Marcus, the man who'd faced down killers, stood there humbled by this nonsense, and it set her blood ablaze. She'd bitten her tongue long enough. She surged forward, fire in her stare, voice thundering across the water. "That's enough." Heads turned, guests zeroing in, phones up, capturing every heartbeat. "What the hell are you doing?" she demanded, her words a sledgehammer. "Do you even know you're cuffing a federal agent?" The young deputy's head jerked up, defiance sparking. "Ma'am, step back, or you're next," he warned, voice tight. Tara didn't flinch. She leaned in. "Detain me? You've got no grounds to touch me for protecting my own. You're shaming my husband like some thug in front of our kids, and I'm done watching." The older deputy, a statue till now, moved to block her, his face carved from stone. "Ma'am, we're just doing our job," he said. "Your husband dragged his feet. Tara's laugh cut through, cold and jagged. Your job? Harassing a family? Cuffing an innocent man because of how he looks? I'll show you what's real. I'm a lawyer. I know the law you're stomping all over. You crossed that line the second you laid hands on him with no reason. The older deputy felt the ground shift beneath him, his gaze darting to the crowd. Phones were out, lenses glaring, voices swelling in the warm lakefront air. He could smell the storm brewing. Social media would eat this alive. The younger deputy, too raw to sense the fuse, dug in harder. We can demand ID, he snapped. He didn't hop to it, and that's all we need. Tara lunged into his orbit, fearless, her shadow swallowing his. She fired back, her words a live wire. I told you he's a federal agent, and you brushed it off. You broke the law, shamed us, and burned that into my kids' minds. Caleb stood close, his eyes stretched wide, grappling with the madness. Sophie huddled behind him, her soft cries slicing through. Tara's chest tightened. This wasn't just for Marcus anymore. It was for them, her kids, who shouldn't have to see their father chained or grow up haunted by that fear. You think I'll sit quiet while you drag my husband down? She pressed, her voice climbing, fierce and unshaken. Think I'll let my kids carry this wound? I'll shout this from the rooftops, and you'll feel the fallout. The crowd's hum spiked, some shouting now, calling out the injustice. Tara felt their heat at her back, fueling her blaze. The young deputy still didn't see the cliff's edge, but the older one's jaw tightened. He clocked the phones, the growing scowls. Then Marcus, cuffed yet steady as stone. This could explode online before sundown if they didn't pull back. Calm down, ma'am, or we'll get rough, the young one warned, his swagger cracking. Tara loomed larger, her eyes drilling through him. I'm calm as steel, she said, but free my husband now, or this becomes your nightmare. The moment hung, taut and electric. The crowd stilled, every breath pinned to the clash. Tara's stare clashed with the deputy's faltering nerve. The older one, seeing the stakes, hissed to his partner. That's enough. Cut him loose. The young deputy hesitated, then reluctantly peeled the cuffs off Marcus. Metal clattered free, and Marcus flexed his wrists, cool as ever. But Tara knew the storm raged inside him. She stepped closer, her voice a low, lethal promise. Get ready to own every second of this. Her eyes never wavered. The cuffs hit the ground, and a wave of relief crashed over Tara, Caleb, and Sophie. But it didn't wash away the shadow clinging to them. Marcus and Tara felt it deep. Caleb stood there, lost in a haze. This was his dad, the unbreakable ATF legend he'd built up in his mind, now brought low, cuffed for no reason. His world tilted. Would this haunt them again? What next? He edged toward Marcus, his voice cracking. Dad, why'd they do that? You didn't do anything. Marcus dropped to one knee, locking eyes with his son, digging for words to mend the rip. Caleb, sometimes people get it wrong and act out of line, he said, soft but firm, his hand steady on the boy's shoulder. We don't let them write who we are. I'm clean here, and we'll make them answer for it. Caleb's head dipped, lips pressed tight, wrestling with the weight of it. Tara watched, her gut twisting. Caleb's innocence had taken a hit today, and she couldn't unsee it. Sophie still clung to her, tears carving tracks down her face. Mommy, is Daddy okay? Did they hurt him? Her small voice shook, hands grasping for something solid in a world gone shaky. Tara knelt, pulling her close, fingers smoothing her braids. He's fine, sweetie, she whispered, bearing her own fire. We'll get through this, all of us. Sophie's grip tightened, her trembles carving a mark Tara couldn't erase. That ache burned in Tara, a scene no child should have seared into them. Marcus caught Sophie's wide, scared eyes, and his heart fractured. He'd vowed to be their shield, But today the ugliness broke through, and they'd seen it raw. The crowd's buzz swelled, some still filming, others gawking, caught between stunned silence and pity. The air stayed thick, the tension shifting into a bone-deep weariness for the Harrisons. Tara turned to the deputies, still hovering like ghosts. Her voice shed its heat, hardening into cold, unbreakable will. "What you've done won't slide," she said. "We're coming for justice." Marcus straightened, exhaustion etching his frame, but his gaze pierced the young deputy who'd locked those cuffs. "We're not just in this for us," he said, his tone steady, rising like a tide. "We're standing for everyone who's eaten this crap." The older deputy dropped his head, the weight finally sinking in. He knew this had blown wide open, and the blowback would hit hard. The crowd's eyes, the rolling cameras, Tara's promise, they landed like bricks. Caleb and Sophie, too small to untangle it all, but old enough to feel the bite, would carry this scar. Marcus knew he wasn't alone in that wound, but he'd fight tooth and nail to keep it from striking twice. Tara locked eyes with Marcus, her stare blazing with resolve. "We're not done," she whispered, her voice a quiet thunder. "We'll push this to the end." Marcus met her fire with his own. "Damn right we won't stop," he said, his nod sealing their pact. Her gaze swept over the deputies and lodge staff, fear long torched away. Now she hungered to rip this open. No chance they'd let it fade. She yanked out her phone, punching in a number. Tara, the fierce defender of the overlooked, had spent years cracking cases of bias just like this. Never thought it'd be her family in the crosshairs. Her tone turned to steel as she paced the lakefront, briefing her colleague. "Jay, dig into this now," she said. "Deputies at the lodge hit us for no cause. Marcus got cuffed in front of our kids. I want lawsuits ready. Sheriff's office, lodge, all of them." Mid-call, the older deputy edged closer, his voice dipping low, almost pleading. "Ma'am, I know this got messy," he said. "We'll look into it ourselves. Maybe you'll ease up. Let us fix this off the radar." Tara's eyes flared with scorn, her reply a cold blade. "You crossed a line," she snapped. "Your crew shamed us, scarred us." Quiet's off the table. "See you in court." This goes loud. She ended the call with a sharp, "Got it," then squared up to him, unflinching. "Brace for a public fight," she warned. "It's all on tape, and justice is coming hard." The deputy's face tightened, his glance flicking to the crowd still filming. He knew she wasn't playing. The spark could ignite a wildfire. Marcus, unshackled now, kept his sights on the young deputy. He'd seen the system cloak its own too often, letting abuse like this sink into the dark. Not today. His family had paid in blood and tears, and he'd shield them from another blow. Then the lodge doors burst wide. A crew marched out, led by a man in a sheriff's uniform, tall, all authority, his face a mask. Captain Reese, a name Marcus knew from newsreels and town chatter, strode in fast. Higher rank, bigger stakes. Reese zeroed in, eyes sweeping the jittery deputies and lodge manager hovering near Tara and Marcus. "I'm Captain Reese," he said, his voice clipped. "All business. I've got the rundown. Now I want the truth." His gaze landed on Marcus, no flinch when he clocked him as ATF. Marcus stepped forward, steady as stone. "I'm Marcus Harrison, ATF," he said, his words calm but loaded. "My family got targeted by your guys for no reason. Cuffed me in front of my wife and kids on nothing but garbage assumptions. We're legal guests here. I want accountability for this bias." Reese took it in, nodding once, then swung to the older deputy, rigid nearby. "This checkout?" he asked, his tone leaving no escape. The deputy faltered, clinging to control. "Captain, we stuck to protocol," he said. "Couldn't confirm Mr. Harrison's ID fast enough. No harm meant." Reese's eyes tightened, cutting him short. Protocol's one thing, he said. Hitting a clean family like this, knowing they belong here, that's a different beast. He turned to Marcus and Tara, his voice leveling out, heavy with intent. I'm sorry you went through this, he said. We're launching a full dig into it. Those responsible will face the music. This isn't just about actions. It's the department's soul on the line. Tara didn't budge, her stare drilling into Reese. Sorry doesn't scrub out what happened, she shot back. This isn't fresh. Your team's pulled this before. You say investigation. I want timelines, concrete steps, no hollow promises. Reese held steady, his nod crisp. I hear you, ma'am, he said. Internal affairs will tear this open, no shadows. I'll write it myself. Every player gets grilled. Screw-ups mean heads roll. Marcus watched him close, probing for cracks. He'd swallowed the system's lines before, but now with the sting still fresh, belief hung by a thread. Pressure was the only play. Not enough, Marcus said, his voice a slab of granite. I want this airtight, no sweeping it under. Those deputies pay for their mess. And I'm climbing the ladder, not just your crew, but federal levels. Reese's eyes twitched, clocking the heat. It'll be clean and deep, he said. You've got proof, statements? Bring it, lock this down tight. Tara flicked a look at Marcus, then pinned Reese again. We've got mountains of it, she said. All on tape from this crowd. I'll wield it if I need to. Your squad and this lodge are staring down the law. Reese didn't flinch. He knew the Harrisons were a wall. I'll wait for your ammo, he said. For now, these deputies spill their guts fast. Appreciate the rundown. Then he swung to the young deputy, his tone dropping to ice. Dixon, inside, every detail now. Dixon's bravado had evaporated. He darted a glance at Marcus and Tara, then ducked his head, shuffling off like a whipped dog. Tara didn't pause. She stormed to the lodge's front desk, her sights on the next target. Management had unleashed the deputies on her family. They'd bleed for it too. We need the manager now, she told the clerk, her voice a steel blade. No room for pushback. The clerk, spooked, hit the buzzer. Out came a wiry guy, mid-50s, flustered, dipping his head like he could dodge the storm. Hi, I'm the lodge manager, he stammered. Heard about the mess. Sorry for any confusion. Tara sliced through. This wasn't confusion. It was prejudice, pure and simple, she said. You're on the hook for sicking deputies on us with zero cause. What rule book says you can treat us like dirt? The manager squirmed, shrinking under Tara's glare and the crowd's weight. We're so sorry, he mumbled. We'll dig into it. Make sure it's done. Tara didn't blink. Sorry's a ghost word here, she said. We're suing loud, and you'll dance to it. This gets righted. We don't let it fade. Marcus loomed beside her, his stare frigid. The legal fight stretched long ahead, but they weren't solo. As they turned from the lakefront, the manager hustled up, panic in his step. Mr. and Mrs. Harrison, we're so sorry, he blurted, voice quaking. We didn't mean this. We'll own it. Lodge will cover your stay. Lock this out for good. Tara's response was ice cold, unyielding. Cash doesn't heal this, she said. We're not here for a handout. We're here for justice. You'll face it. The manager bowed his head, words failing him, swallowed by the heat of their unyielding anger. Tara gave Marcus a sharp nod. Their path was clear, and no force would derail it. As they approached the lodge exit, Caleb's small hand tugged at Marcus's sleeve, his voice threading with hope and unease. Dad, what happens next? Will it be all right? Marcus dropped to one knee, his hand firm on Caleb's shoulder, a steady smile breaking through. We're gonna fight, Caleb, he said. It'll be all right. We don't back down. We'll carve out fairness, for us and for all. Tara stood tall beside them, her eyes glinting with pride. Damn right, she said. They'll pay, and we'll keep pushing till justice sticks. Hand in hand, the Harrisons strode out, tighter, fiercer, primed for war. The road ahead stretched long and jagged, but they weren't alone. Tara's legal fire, Marcus's iron resolve, and their family's unbreakable tie fueled them forward. The fight wasn't over, but they were locked in. Injustice wouldn't claim this round. Their story isn't just a stand against wrong, it's a blazing testament to the guts it takes to face bias head-on, to defend your own and lift up others. The Harrisons show us justice doesn't whisper, it roars. You rise, you push, not just for yourself, but for a world that's right. Their battle prods us. Don't flinch from the ugly. Lean on unity, on love. With spine and heart, we can reshape what's coming. A place where skin, gender, or bloodline don't set your value. If this strikes a chord, if you want to carry these sparks further, hit subscribe. Stick around for the next tale. Together we can build something real, a crew grounded in courage and justice.